Let's be honest, the ability to broadcast educational videos to millions of people practically for free is a friggin' technological miracle. So it's not surprising that so many educators and online course creators make video so central to their curricula. It's amazing. There's just some stuff that a recorded video and an edited video can do much better than like a reading or a lecture can do. But that doesn't mean video is actually the most effective teaching tool, at least not on its own. So today I want to talk about the challenges of video learning and how to effectively incorporate it into your class in the context of other more useful study tools. Hi, I'm Andrew with Brainscape, a mobile study platform that is based on decades of proven cognitive science research into how we learn better and remember for longer. We've seen Brainscape users incorporate adaptive flashcards into many types of video-based curriculum. So we've been able to develop a little bit of a thesis on what works with video-based learning. And it has to do with working around two major limitations of video instruction. It's passive and it's linear. What do I mean by passive? Well, to watch and listen to a video, you don't really have to do anything. It's just so easy to zone out and miss certain concepts. And even if you do have a perfect attention span, freak, you're still not really using any brain power to actively engage with the material by asking or answering questions that will help you process it on a deeper level. That's why we've seen so many students and instructors make flashcards aligned to the material in the instructional videos so they can actually study later after watching that video. Not only is the act of making flashcards itself a form of higher level thinking that will deepen your understanding, but you're setting up the material in a format that can be more easily studied with active recall later. In other words, rather than just seeing the material passively like you would be by rewatching a video, flashcards force you to constantly retrieve the answers in your head, which is shown to be one of the most important factors in how well you'll remember something, that active retrieval. Which leads me to the second limitation of video learning, which is that it is linear. A video is just one monolithic series of instruction that might contain dozens of smaller learning objectives throughout the video. So even if you rewatch that video again, all of those learning objectives always go in the same direction, and you're not using your time efficiently by just focusing on those weakest concepts that you need to review and how often. In other words, while a video might be a helpful way to introduce new material, it's not efficient to study a video. Again, this is where adaptive flashcards like Brainscape can really help, because every time you rate your confidence in a Brainscape flashcard, the system determines how soon to ask you that flashcard again. So you're constantly focusing on attacking your weaknesses as much as possible as you advance your confidence ratings. If your goal is to actually learn the material with less study time, this system of active recall plus spaced repetition is an essential complement to video-based learning, which is passive and linear. In fact, many instructors even find that adaptive flashcards can straight up replace video instruction in cases where students don't really need such deep explanation. It's often cheaper to make flashcards than videos, it's easier to make small edits if you find errors later, and it gives you better stats on students' learning progress than just a record of whether they watched a video or not. But even if you do still use video as a complement to those flashcards and other interactive activities, you might at least consider two things. Those videos should be watched to introduce topics, but not as something the students should rewatch to study or rely on as their only instruction method. And you should consider providing students with supplementary material like flashcards, or even encourage students to make the flashcards themselves so that they can actually regurgitate and know what is in that video material. You could even try other learning assignments like having students write a paragraph arguing with the main points of a video, or prepare a handful of questions that the video has inspired them to ask. The key here is that by recognizing the passive and linear limitations of video instruction, you can get inspired to supplement your curriculum with more active and adaptive learning methods. If you like the advice in this video, be sure to subscribe, check out all the other great learning tips over at the Brainscape Academy, and of course be sure that you're using Brainscape's free adaptive flashcards app, all of which will give you the tools and the mindset you need to rise to any challenge.